So this session is organized by OSHI with Pyramid Certifications, and I really welcome all you for this session. I'm so grateful to OSHI for giving us opportunity for this session, as they are doing wonderful job, superb job, I will say, in the field of health and safety, helping not only industries but also the communities. So I really appreciate OSHI for all their efforts, and I wish in the future they continue to do the same.
Nikunj, can I take this opportunity to introduce you to the
Uh,
participant?
sure. I hope
Yeah, hi
participants
all
can
of
hear.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi all of you. I'm Avdesh Malaya. I'm the chairman of OSHI Foundation. So OSHI Foundation is an NGO that has always been working towards enhancing the health, safety, environment, and sustainability culture within industries and also within the community also. OSHI mainly comprises of the top heads of HSC and top management team from industries across India, whose vision is to prevent illness, save lives, protect environment, and drive India to a sustainable path. Now, as far as activities concerned with OSHI, we have already announced our OSHI awards, which are scheduled for July 2020. And the entries are open for everyone to participate into it, which has even individual categories and also the company categories. Also, OSHI Foundation has membership structure within it, which is open now for 2021 from March onwards, for which you can get in touch with Swati Patil, who will coordinate and explain you about the benefits the OSHI can give you in terms of membership to your company and to individuals. Uh, Now to welcome Nikunj Waghela. Nikunj, I think most of you might be knowing him because he is a known personality. He is a president of Pyramid Certification, which is a known certification body in Mumbai, based out at Mumbai, and they have a very large clientele, which comprise of public enterprises, private enterprises, government agencies, even the construction companies are part of his clientele list. So we had requested Nikunj to support us in terms of providing awareness sessions on ISO standards within safety fraternity who are interested to upgrade their knowledge and take the benefit of this time period which they have and can utilize the expertise later on when they go back to their workplaces. So thank you, Nikunj, and over to
Thank you,
you.
Avdesh. Thank you, Avdesh. Uh, uh, so let's start with today's session. I welcome you all for the session. I hope you all are safe and your family members are also safe. And let me assure you, you may have attended lots of webinar in these days or maybe some learning. And trust me, today's webinar will be little different from all those learnings of yours. I will try to see that you understand the concepts, at least for ISO 9001. ISO 9001 is a very vast subject, but at least let me give you today what it is about, what is the background of it, and what you can do as an improvement. So the this session is very, I have made it in such a way that it should be easy for you to grasp. And I'll request all of you to please feel free to contact me. You can chat with me, or after the session there will be question and answer session where you can always ask me your doubts. So thank you, Avdesh. He has already introduced me and my company. I'll just quickly run through that. We are from Pyramid Certifications. Our accreditation is from ACB UK, which is a very well-known accreditation throughout the world. And we actually operate in many countries, not only in India. And we have in India more than 2,000 plus customers now. So I really take this opportunity from OSHI that they have given me for this session. And okay. So let me just I'll request everyone to just stop your video and mute audio, because there are lots of participants. If you speak, try to speak, there will be lots of noise. So let me continue with my session. Okay. So this is about myself. I have more than 17 years of experience. We conducted 900 plus audits by now and conducted 250 plus training programs. My basic qualification is I have done my Bachelor of Engineering and Master of Business Administration. And I am a lead author for this ISO 9001, ISO 14,000, 45,000 and many other standards. I'm also auditor for product certifications like CE mark, and there are other products which are required the certifications. There are different types of products which need some marking. So we do that marking. I myself is a Six Sigma Green Belt also. And my core purpose of my life is to help companies and communities to inspire them to build something big for in their life. So let me tell you something about ISO. I'm sure all of you must have heard about ISO. So can you just tell me what is the full form of ISO? Yes, anyone? Can you just write it down in the chat box? What is the full form of ISO? Yeah. Okay. Okay, you have some connecting issue, then you may rejoin. There is absolutely no issues. I will keep on adding you. Okay. So yes, can anyone tell me what is the full form of ISO? You can chat with me. Okay, very good. Mr. Bhavik, I think he has written International Organization Standard, International Standard. Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So you people are aware of requirements. I am sure about it, or you may have heard of this. So let me tell you the full form of ISO. It's International Organization for Standardization. So many of you, it may be like, why not abbreviation is iOS? iOS hona chahiye na, ISO kyun kar diya? The logic behind is ISO is in Greek means similar. So once a company which is certified in India or in Europe or in Japan, wherever, they are all at par. No one is high, no one is above. That's the intention of ISO. The basic globalization which took place after World War II, I will say ISO has contributed a lot. So let me give you some background about ISO first. The organization was formed in 1947, and actually it began their operations from there on. Their headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland. And ISO is a voluntary organization, independent organization. But there are 163 national bodies. Like in India, we have QCI. So like every country has their own quality body. They are a part of it. They are a member of it. So it is run by, you can say, all the governments of the world. You can say that. And 163 is the number is now already increased. And there are lots of other industry experts who contribute their advices and suggestions to ISO. So it's not only about this 163 national bodies. There are other factors, other committees, other bodies are also involved while preparing the standard. That is the ISO standard. You will be surprised to know there are more than 21,000 standards are already available. You name the topic, you name the system, you name the product or service. ISO standard is available for that. And one of that ISO standard is 9000 series. So today our entire focus will be on this ISO 9001 series. So let me give you the clear picture about ISO 9000 family first. ISO 9000 is one of the series in the ISO family. There are multiple standards in it, because many times people may get confused. What is this ISO? Why this ISO is required? And 9000 kya hota hai? So let me give you some clarity on that. ISO 9000 is of course a family which contains lots of standards, and basically 9000 standard is for the quality and system. So basically this ISO 9000 family standard revolve around customer, I can say, because finally the product, the service which is used is by the customer. So there are basically three standards under this ISO 9000 family. The first one is ISO 9001 2015 standard. This is actually a set of requirement given in the standard which any organization will have to implement in order to achieve the ISO. The second standard is ISO 9000 2015. Now you may be wondering, yeah, 9000 hai, uske piche 2015 kya, what is 2015? Yeah. So this 2015 is a year in which this standard was issued, or I can say it was released. So ISO 9000 2015 is a standard, 9001 and 9000. What is the difference between these two standards? Let me clarify that first. 9001 is a set of requirements. So if your company wants to implement or get a certificate for ISO 9000, then this is the standard which you have to implement and you have to get audited. 9000 2015, the second standard, it only talks about fundamentals and vocabularies where all the terms, definitions are available. So you can go through that. There is one more standard in this series, in this family, is 9004, and the latest revision is 2018. 2018 में latest version आया था. Now, what is this standard is about? This standard is about how you can further improve the performance of your company, performance of your organization, performance of your processes. So it basically deals with that. So let me clarify here. There is no sequence. Like you have to implement first ISO 9001, then 9000, then 9000. No, there is no sequence. You have to get certified for 9001, 2015. That's a certifiable standard. Other two standards are just for reference, because sometimes people come to me, sir, हमको ये भी करना है, 9001 करते हैं, अभी 9004 करना है. नहीं, ये guidance for improvement है. You can improve on that. I hope everyone is clear, right? So please, you can write yes in your chat box. So I will be understanding that आपको समझ में आ रहा है, and because I can proceed with my session. So please write yes in your chat. Let me check how many of you are saying yes. Oh, fantastic. Oh, thank you. So let me proceed with the next topic. Yeah. So now it's all about compatibility. See, there are multiple standards available, as I told you, in ISO. So most of the companies, they implement multiple standards. One of the company can go for ISO 9001. Another company may go for ISO 45000, which is health and safety standard. Like most of you working in the health and safety background or health and safety professionals. So there is a separate standard that is ISO 45000. And of course, we are going to conduct one more session on that next week. You can please register yourself for that. Basically, the problem used to happen in some, if I tell you about before 2015, there are different standards. So if any one organizations want to implement ISO 9001, they have to implement as per 9001 norms. If the same organizations want to implement for ISO 14001, then they have to have a different standard, and they have to again prepare a documentation, implementation for 14,000 or maybe health and safety standards. So there are different standards. So in the one organization, how you can have multiple documentation? So that was a really, really cumbersome job for the industries, for the companies who were implementing multiple standards, multiple certifications. So to resolve this issue, ISO came up with the compatibility. They had their own annexure SL, which is the ISO's annexure, of course. They segregated these requirements in one particular system, or I will say as a structure. So they adopted this, we call it as HLS, high level structure. So all the management standard requirements can be combined in one. So basically why it was done? To remove redundancy, and duplication of documentation, duplication of implementation. It used to take time and money, of course. So to resolve it, they consolidated that a simple one structure. So what is that structure? Let me show you that. So there is ISO 9001 standard, there is ISO 14000, there is ISO 45000. By the way, ISO 14000 is for environment. So what they actually did is they had a common terminology, common structure for all the three standards. So the companies which they want to implement, they have a common documentation and common procedure, common internal audits or common reviews they can have. So this was really, really benefited industries a lot, and it actually reduced their paperwork to a great extent. So many organizations were telling us that paperwork zyada hai, ISO se paperwork zyada, you keep on hearing these things, but now there is no such issues, no such points. Of course, you have to have a documentation for proper management, but there is no requirement that you should have a documentation for everything. So ISO 9001, ISO 14001 and ISO 45000, you can have an integrated certification or integrated documentation. Even as a certification body, we go and we do the audit on an integrated basis. So we don't see the requirement of ISO 9000 separately or 14000 or 45000 separately. We do at a time. So that really saves time, cost for the companies, and it really simplify the job. So how many of you are aware of this word process approach? Can you please write in the chat box, please? So let me see how many of you are aware of this. Yeah, can you please write down what do you mean by process approach or a process? Yeah, okay, lots of people are writing. I'll appreciate if everyone writes. So someone is saying yes, someone is saying no idea, input out, fantastic. So appreciate all your answers. So yes, let me explain you the process first. I'm sure you people all are aware of what is process. So process, I'll request all of you to please put your mic on, switch off, or you can turn off it. Yep, thank you. First of all, let me define process. It's a very simple thing. You have to have an input, some activities will be performed, and you get something as an output. So as a whole, we call this as a process. कुछ input मिला, कुछ activity किया, और output जो desired output है वो हमें मिला. But can you assure that always you will get the output with what you desired? No. So for that, what we as an industry practices, we practice the controls. So controls on, first of all, are inputs. How we are controlling our inputs so that our activities can be done effectively. अगर हमारा input ही गलत हो जाएगा तो activity और output में problem आने ही वाला है. So is this sufficient? No. There is one more step we as an industry follow. We control our activities, and before we release our output, we check that. That's a check or inspection or monitoring, whatever you can call it. So process is nothing but input to output under controlled conditions. We define those control conditions. See, basically क्या होता है मैं आपको बताता हूँ. We all watch cricket. Yes, I am sure many of you must be a cricket fan like me. I am a cricket fan. हम लोग देखते हैं कि हम विराट कोहली अच्छा खेलना चाहिए, तो एक बार सेंचुरी मारेगा, एक बार 50 रन बनाएगा. आर वी हैप्पी विद दैट? नो. वी वांट वो हमेशा अच्छा करे, राइट? सो सेम वे प्रोसेस ऐसा होता है कि हाउ यू आर डिजाइनिंग अ प्रोसेस सो द डिजायर्ड आउटपुट इज ऑलवेज अचीव्ड, एंड दैट्स व्हाई यू नीड टू हैव अ कंट्रोल. नाउ लेट मी कम बैक टू द डेफिनेशन ऑफ प्रोसेस अप्रोच. नाउ process approach is basically how you are controlling your process, how you are controlling your output. Because remember, in any organization, output of one process becomes the input to another process. All of you are getting this? I repeat, output of one process is an input to another process. And this is what is a process. अगर एक process का अच्छे से output नहीं मिला तो पूरा cycle आपका disturb हो सकता है in the organization. Because there are multiple processes in the organization. I hope you all are getting. Please type yes if you are getting, or if you have any questions right now, please ask me on that. I'll request, please chat. Use the chat box, please. Okay, so you all are saying yes. So I'll proceed with this. Of course, you can ask me any questions at the end of the session also. Fine. Okay, now let me give you some highlight on this terminology, which is PDCA. So what is PDCA? Yes, can you please, anyone, if no, please type it on this.
Plan to check that.
I'll request if you can chat on this. I'll appreciate that. If you can chat, use the chat. Okay, very good. Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So the audience is quite learned. I really appreciate that. PDCA is nothing but plan, do, check, act. This is an iterative cycle. And this is very popular in any system. If you are designing or anywhere you go, you will definitely hear about this PDCA. फंडा बहुत सिंपल है, हमें हर एक चीज को प्लान करना है. Do as per your plan. Check whether everything is going as per plan or no. Act on improvements. Basically ये एक फंडा है जो आपको समझना है frankly आज के सेशन में. What you are acting on it, what you are improving on it. So PDCA is just an iterative 4-step management method, and trust me, ये management method हर एक जगह पे work करता है. So you have to control your business processes, and the basic intention is to have an improvement, and that we use a word as a continual improvement, right? So I'm sure you all are clear with the concept of PDCA, and trust me, every ISO standard is based on PDCA. I'll show you how today, especially for ISO 9001 standard, and we'll definitely discuss those points. Any questions? Okay, so I'll proceed now. Now you will say, what are the benefits of implementing this ISO 9001? Yeah, there are plenty of benefits. With the new standard, ISO 9001 is a new standard 2015 version. It has taken lots of good points from the industry perspective, from the benefit of the industry perspective. Let me share some of the benefits which our clients has truly work upon and have benefited. So first and foremost, we always say identification of risk and opportunities. If you want to implement ISO 9001 in your company, it is a must for you that you have to identify what are the risks and what are the opportunities lying with you. These risks are not a health and safety risk. Let me clarify, because most of the team members, I know lots of are from safety background, but this is nothing about safety risk I'm talking about. This is a business risk. This is a process risk. This is maybe related to your process, maybe related to your customers. And opportunity is what you are identifying. So if you are implementing this, there is a fantastic exercise you are going to do on that for betterment of your company. Yes, increased efficiency. We have almost, I can say 2000 plus customers, and when we audit them on a regular basis, we have seen that their efficiency level has gone up. Almost 70% efficiency is increased over a period of 3 to 5 years. So that is what actually we have seen. Okay. Compliance with the legislation. Of course, this standard helps a big way in compliances. So you have to comply with all the ISO requirements, and all the benefits are passed to the companies once they comply. You have to check that all the legal requirements are fulfilled, and always. Nowadays, you know, if you are not fulfilling any of the statutory regulatory requirements, there are big issues in the industries. Okay. I think someone has access to this screen, and they are just doing this some blue and red lags. Please don't do that. Okay. This standard also benefits in improved management, where companies have improved their management systems and their processes, like output are always been achieved as per the requirements of the customer. Again, let me tell you, because you'll be keep on hearing me for this standard, this is a customer centric standard. So everything, whatever you design or prepare, you have to keep customer in mind. Performance measurement is one of the best benefit companies have been using this, because there are key matrices, key performance matrices companies design for this, and they can actually check their performances based on that. And of course, this standard gives a very big improved customer and partner relationship. Customers are of course a part of it, but partners, I will say, as a suppliers or contractors or vendors whom you have to have a good relationship with. It's a win-win situation, we call it. So now let me share you some fantastic principles. Especially this principle is applicable in ISO 9001 standard only. This is not for any other standard like ISO 45000 or maybe 14000. This is practically given in this management principle. So let me share, there are 7 principles we'll be talking about it. And my genuine request is, please pay focus on this. If you know this principle, it's far easier for you to implement or understand the ISO standard itself. So let me check out with the first principle. The first principle is about, okay, there are still people are, I have to add, okay. First principle is about customer focus. Now I'll request all of you, if you can answer me this question, why customer focus is required. You can just briefly, you can type in chat box and just let me know why customer focus is the main thing in this ISO standard. Why you have to have a customer focus. Yeah. Okay. I'll share you the information with you. the companies nowadays, you know, there are lots of competition in the market. There are lots of new technology has taken over and new things are coming up. Let me see what people are saying. Residual raise aspect impact is not a part of this, Mr. Pratim. Oh, great. A customer is the epicenter of the business. Oh, fantastic. I really appreciate. Let me continue with this. At the end of the session, I'll be answering your question if anything is missed out. Don't worry for it. Customer focus is the prime, it's epicenter of the business. If your company is not customer centric, you will be out of the business. In the past, we have seen lots of companies like that. Nokia, Kodak have suffered a big loss. They were once a giant, but they could not cope up with what customer wants next. So they were out of the business all of a sudden. I can give you one statistics. In 2011, Nokia had a market share of 62% worldwide, and in 2014 they had just 3%. So this is how market can take a turn if your company is not customer focused. And trust me, you are a part of the company. You also have to be customer focused. Second principle is about leadership. Now, leadership doesn't mean here कि हमारा कोई MD है या director है, उनकी ही बात हो रही है. Leadership here is at every level, because this is a management standard. So every management, even if you are a manager, even if you are a supervisor, even if you are a director, this applies to you here. Leadership basically focuses on what leader is showing to their team members, what leader is showing to a path where they have to go, vision especially. So you may have a vision for your company, you may have a vision for your process also. So there are some policies needs to be defined, some objectives needs to be defined in this. And there are also lots of objectives. I'm sure you people are aware of targets and objectives. There has to be defined in the system. So leadership plays a critical role here. But one of the most crucial role leader has to play is, you know what? Can anyone just have a chat on that? Can anyone tell me that? What is the most critical role you expect from the leader? Yep. Please, I'll request if anyone can type on this or just think over it. Because I really don't want कि मैं बोलता रहूँ और आप सुनते रहो. I really want interaction from you guys.
Continual improvement.
Oh, very good. So someone is collaboration, setting example, super awesome. Continual improvement. Oh, setting targets. Okay, superb. Thanks for sharing. Yes, but you know, every person, you all will agree with me that while you talk about leadership, there is always one thing you expect कि हमें ये रिसोर्स चाहिए, वो कौन देगा? See, leader can talk about हम ये करेंगे, हम वो करेंगे, but finally जो रिसोर्स चाहिए वो कहाँ से आएगा हमारे पास? So it is the expectation that every leader has to provide the resources required to perform the task, required to achieve the target. I hope all of you agree with me on that. अगर हमारे पास राइट बंदा नहीं है, राइट मशीन नहीं है, या राइट इक्विपमेंट नहीं है, या राइट प्रोसेस नहीं है, तो will you be able to deliver? No. And basically this all things lies with the leader. So let's go ahead with continue with the third principle, that is process approach. I think we just now discussed this, so I'll not again repeat that, and I'll directly move on to the fourth principle. I think Mr. Himanshu Gautam is continuously going in and out. I'm sorry, but I'll not be. I have to do this because I don't want any participant to miss any point. Okay. So now let's talk about engagement and competence of the people. That's one of the key issue here, and that's one of the key principle here. So what do you think about engagement and competence of people? What these people are? Who are these people? Can anyone share that? Yes, who are these people we are talking about? Yes, can you please
those who perform the job. Those who perform the job.
Okay. I'll request, sir, if you can just check so we can have more participants can contribute, and I can say, yeah, take initiative, human resource, superb. All employees, absolutely right. This is, we talk about employees, engagement and competence of people. Again, I always say this is the role of the leader. That कौन से बंदे को किस प्रकार का काम देना है, it's always a role of the leader. एक है कि उनको सही काम देना है, और दूसरा वो काम करने के लिए वो कैपेबल है कि नहीं. So this is what one of the key requirement, one of the key principle of this ISO 9001. Yeah, there is one more principle, that is informed decision making. Now, what you understand by this? See, the word is very simple, informed decision making, but many companies, many people interpret it in a wrong way. So I'll just like to see what you think about this principle, informed decision making. Yes, anyone can type it, please, on the chat box. What do you think about this principle, informed decision making? Yeah, anyone, please? Okay. Communication, line manager, all must be aware of decision. Okay, okay. Anything else? Communication, MOC. Okay, okay. Fantastic. So you have some thought process. I appreciate that. But here, informed decision making is something different. So you need to understand why informed decision, what it means here, why this principle is very essential. See, many at times we all have some gut feeling कि ये करेंगे ना तो हमारा ये अच्छा हो जाएगा. But in ISO specifically says about you have to have information, you have to have a data so that you can take a decision. यानी गट फीलिंग पे ज्यादा मत जाओ भाई, पहले तेरा डेटा क्या बोल रहा है, पहले think the see the data, analyze those data, and then you can take a decision. Then it will be easy to have a decisions. You see, now the data are one of the crucial things. I will say data is one of the main thing nowadays, information. So you have to have right information with you, analyze those information, and then only you take the decisions. So you know, Facebook and social media companies just earning their bread and butter from this informations. So that's what ISO talks about here. You have to have an informed decision making. Okay. Of course, improvement is one of the key point, one of the key principle. Without that, nothing is possible in this ISO standard. Improvement is about here what step-by-step improvement you are doing in the process. What step-by-step process you can lead to the improvements. Here, it's not only about कि मैंने process बना दिया है, मेरा output आ रहा है. The ISO specifically pushes you here कि अभी next level पे आप क्या करने वाले हो, और improvement कहाँ से आएगा आपको, और improvement कैसे करेंगे आप. So it basically deals about improvements, and you have to show the improvements. So basically, these are the key principles, and the last principle is about relationship management. So let me quickly make you understand relationship का यहाँ पे क्या मतलब है. Of course, ये relationship employee relationship के बारे में नहीं है, ना ही customer relationship के बारे में है. This relationship management principle is from the point of view of a supplier, from the contractor, or from the vendor point of view. ISO critically says here कि अगर आपका supplier, आपका contractor या vendor, आप जो भी word use करो, अगर उसको आपके प्रोडक्ट, आपकी सर्विस के बारे में आप प्रॉपर्ली नहीं बता पाओगे तो वो भी डिलीवर नहीं कर पाएगा. So here you have to create a win-win situations with the supplier. So final product, final output can be as per customer's requirement. So there is lots of activities and processes involved in this when you implement for ISO standard. So let me not go into that detail right now. You may attend some other our internal auditor courses or lead auditor courses where we can explain this in detail. Okay, so let's go ahead with the next process is about improvement. Here I would like to share one of the recent example of one of my friend and client who have demonstrated fantastically in this crisis. अभी आप देखेंगे lockdown चल रहा है, crisis है, तो let me share you one photograph and I'll request all of you to type कि आपको उसमें क्या दिखता है. Okay, I'm sharing you the photograph. अभी आप देख सकते हैं इसे, और प्लीज चैट बॉक्स पे डालिए आपको क्या दिख रहा है. ऑफ कोर्स एक बंदा है जो लॉकडाउन का बहुत ही अच्छा फायदा उठा रहा है, आराम कर रहा है, वो हमें दिख रहा है. तो हम सब ने ये किया है लॉकडाउन में थोड़ा बहुत ऑफ कोर्स, एंड मास्क लगा के बंदा बैठा हुआ है, आप देख सकते हो. तो बट इसके अलावा आपको क्या दिख रहा है? आई विल रिक्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू टू प्लीज शेयर इन दिस. क्या दिख रहा है आपको? क्या कर रहा है बंदा? ओके, सो लेट मी शेयर यू दिस के ये बंदा जो सो रहा है ना, वो आप ध्यान से देखेंगे तो ये बेड बनाया हुआ है. कैन एनीवन सी दैट? ये एक बेड है. यस, बेड दिख रहा है आपको, कार्डबोर्ड बेड. सुपर. सो ये कार्डबोर्ड का बेड बना हुआ है. दिस इज वन ऑफ आवर क्लाइंट आर्यन पेपर हैज इन्वेंटेड दिस इन इंडिया. और ये इसलिए इन्वेंट हुआ क्योंकि कोविड वायरस जो है वो 12 घंटे से ज्यादा पेपर पे नहीं रह सकता है. हालांकि दूसरे जो बेड होते हैं जो फैब्रिकेटेड होते हैं या प्लास्टिक के होते हैं उसमें लंबे समय तक वायरस रहता है. So these people have designed this and they actually help lots of hospitals and lots of things, and this is of course cost effective. और कार्डबोर्ड का है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि इस पे पानी डालेंगे तो खराब हो गया, वैसा नहीं है. ऑफ कोर्स ज्यादा पानी डालने से हो सकता है, and of course it is disposable. Once patient is gone, you can dispose this, and this is very available at very nominal rate compared to the beds. So this is the improvement, and यही यहाँ पे ISO का पर्पस है कि आप improvements क्या कर रहे हो. I'll request all of you to please switch off their mics. आपका बहुत सारा sound आ रहा है background में. I'll request all of you please do that. Okay, thank you for that. So ये जो बेड बनाया गया है ना, ये बहुत सारे हॉस्पिटल में ऑलरेडी आया है और इनफैक्ट पीएमओ ऑफिस से इसको स्पेशल अप्रूवल मिला है. सो आई एम वेरी प्राउड कि हमारे वन ऑफ द फ्रेंड एंड क्लाइंट्स ने इसको इम्प्लीमेंट किया है. सो दिस इज व्हाट इज एक्सपेक्टेड from the organizations when they actually implement ISO 9001 standard. Come out with some ideas, come out with some improvements, and I really hope कि आप भी आपकी कंपनी में ऐसा कुछ करेंगे. Let me proceed with now the basic ISO 9001 requirements. ISO 9001 standard जो है उसमें उसकी requirements दी गई है, उसको clauses बोलते हैं. I hope you everyone is aware of the word clause. I think everyone is knowing this. Yes. If someone know, please type it. अगर नहीं है तो. Okay, let me see that. Oh, okay, great. Yes. So I think everyone is aware of the clauses. ये स्टैंडर्ड में, अरे ये कौन यहाँ पे ये कर रहा है? I request please remove this. Someone has the access to the screen, so just remove this. ये lines जो मार रहे हैं आप. Okay, let me continue. ISO 9001 requirements, basically we deal here with the points. These clauses are already there in the standard, and these clauses you have to implement in order to get the certification done or in order to get the process done. So let me share you these clauses and the requirement for your understanding. Clause number 1 is scope. Scope is how you are going to implement ISO in what portion of your organization. See, every organization is different. हर एक कंपनी अलग अलग है. कोई मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में है, कोई ट्रेडिंग में है, कोई कॉन्ट्रैक्टिंग में है, कोई सिविल वर्क में है, कोई इंफ्रा में है, कोई हॉस्पिटल में है. सो हियर ISO सेज के सबसे पहले आप डिफाइन करो आपका इंडस्ट्री क्या है और आप कहाँ से ऑपरेट करते हो. यानी आप मुंबई में हो, चेन्नई में हो, आपके मल्टीपल साइट्स है. यू डिफाइन दैट. सो क्लैरिफाई योर स्कोप ऑफ वर्क फर्स्ट. सो एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैज टू फर्स्ट डिफाइन द स्कोप. दैट्स अ रिक्वायरमेंट इन क्लॉज 1. क्लॉज 2 इज अबाउट नॉर्मेटिव रेफरेंस. यानी ये स्टैंडर्ड का रेफरेंस कहाँ से आता है. तो बेसिकली यहाँ पे एक ही नॉर्मेटिव रेफरेंस स्टैंडर्ड अवेलेबल है, दैट इज ISO 9004 एंड ISO 9000, जहाँ पे वोकेबुलरी एंड टर्म्स एंड डेफिनेशन दी गई है. लेट मी प्रोसीड विद द क्लॉज नंबर 3. इट टॉक्स अबाउट अगेन टर्म्स एंड डेफिनेशन. तो इसमें डेफिनेशंस आपको देखने को मिलेगी. व्हाट इज ऑडिट, व्हाट इज रिस्क, ये सब डेफिनेशंस आपको यहाँ से मिलेगी. नाउ लेट मी टेल यू, टू इम्प्लीमेंट द सिस्टम और टू डॉक्यूमेंट द सिस्टम, क्लॉज 1, 2, 3 के लिए कुछ करना नहीं है ज्यादा. जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट्स है, जो भी आपको इंप्लीमेंट करना है, जो भी आपको समझना है, इट इज गोइंग टू इम्प्लीमेंटेड एंड डॉक्यूमेंटेड मेजॉरिटी फ्रॉम द क्लॉज नंबर 4. So I'll request all of you to please pay attention here, because this is what you are going to learn in clause number 4 and you have to actually implement it. So clause 4 is about context of the organization. Yes, context of the organization. Now this word maybe seems little difficult कि context क्या है, क्यों होता है, क्या है. So let me make it very easy and very simple for you. Here you are talking about हमारी कंपनी क्या करती है फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, और हम कैसे हमारे जो स्टेक होल्डर है उनके लिए क्या क्या कर रहे हैं. आई एम श्योर एवरीवन इज अवेयर ऑफ द स्टेक होल्डर. व्हेन आई यूज अ टर्म स्टेक होल्डर, तो एवरीवन इज अवेयर क्या है स्टेक होल्डर. Or any doubt anyone has? Yeah, please type stakeholder. Have you ever know this terminology, stakeholder or interested parties? Please type in the chat box, please. You know this? Okay, let me explain you that. Stakeholders, interested parties are the people who are directly associated with you and your company. Maybe direct, maybe indirect. So let me tell you what are these interested parties. Interested parties may be your employees, maybe your board of directors, maybe your customers, maybe your suppliers, and yes, If I keep on adding, there are multiple people who are interested in your organizations, maybe legal authorities, maybe your competitors. So clause number 4 specifically talks about you identify what are these people, who are these interested parties, and how it is going to impact the organization. And that is the risk here you identify कि अगर ये इनकी रिक्वायरमेंट्स हमने फुलफिल नहीं की तो बिजनेस को, कंपनी को क्या इम्पैक्ट आएगा. Let me share you one example. What happens if your customer is demanding something and you are not able to fulfill on time? Yes, you may lose the order, or maybe customer is dissatisfied. Future business nahi aa sakta hai shayad. So this is the risk. So this is what clause number 4 talks about. You identify such risk for every stakeholder, every interested parties. Let's take example of employees. If what happens if employee is not paid regular salary? Do you think employee can give their productivity? Do you think employees can perform to their best? I think no. So yes, employees needs a salary on time. So this is one of the risks. Again, just providing the salary on time is sufficient? Nowadays answer is no. Employee also expect some training, some upgradation, some appraisals on a regular basis. So these are the risks. Likewise, you can identify your suppliers, you can identify for legal authorities. This is what clause number 4 basically talks about. So you identify those risks so that in future you are clear about the requirements and you are clear about what is you have to do if something goes wrong, right? And of course, there are other issues may pop up like this COVID-19, which has pop up, or any other things can pop up from unknown sources. Then how organization is going to deal with that? So its best way, I will say ISO 9000, this standard is very, very, has given lots of such understanding and requirements so you can have a better management in your company. So clause number 4, let me just summarize. This is about how you have to identify your interested parties and you have to identify the risk associated with those interested parties. So this is the basic activity you need to understand and you have to do in order to comply with the ISO 9001 requirement. Let me show you the clause number 5. Clause number 5 is about leadership. Yes, we already have seen the one of the principle is about leadership. Here we talk about clause leadership. Leadership here it talks about how management is ensuring all the resources, all the informations, and all the guidance is given to their team, to their employees. Leadership includes one of the key point. See, every leader has to show the direction. हम कहाँ पे जाने वाले, हम कहाँ कैसे जाएंगे. So here leader has to define policy for that, and we call it as a quality policy. I'm sure in your organization आपका quality policy कुछ होगा, आपके environmental policies बनाते, health and safety के policy बनाते. But in 9001 they specifically talk about ISO 9000 talks about quality policy. आपकी कंपनी की क्वालिटी के लिए क्या पॉलिसी है, व्हाट यू सी एज अ क्वालिटी, क्वालिटी क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा है आपका कंपनी, वो आपके लीडर को डिफाइन करना है. Another crucial task for this under this clause is leader has to define roles, responsibilities and authorities, all three for the company and for the employees. यानी आपने देखा हो बहुत सारी कंपनी का ऑर्गेनाइजेशन चार्ट आपने देखा होगा and roles and responsibilities define किए होंगे. Of course, it is not expected कि आपके managing director या director इसको लिखे, but there will be some team who are doing these activities. So two aspects, major aspects in leadership is, of course, management has to comply with the requirements regarding support and resources. Then management has to provide a quality policy and ensure that everyone in the organization is aware of this policy. Another crucial task for leader is ensure roles, responsibilities and authorities. I'm talking about 3 points is defined for each and every designations in the organization. So these are the basic 5 clauses right now I'm sharing. Again, I'm repeating first 3 clauses. You don't have to implement much or you have to document, but 4th, 5th, yes, it's a point of documentation and implementation. So let's see what are the other clauses. Let me tell you, there are totally 10 clauses in this ISO 9001 started. We covered just 5 and practically for implementation it's clause 4 and clause 5. Clause number 6 is again a crucial: planning. Yes, in the beginning of the session we discussed about PDCA, right? So planning is always essential. In clause 6, it specifically talks about the planning. It talks about planning of the processes, planning of the company, planning of the organization's risk. It is, I am repeating this, planning is not about planning of this. Planning is not about planning of your product, your process. This planning is talking about entire company, entire organization. This planning is about risk and opportunities you have. So here, yes, you can do risk assessment if you want, but this risk assessment will be quite different from your health and safety risk. This risk assessment is not about environmental aspect impact. This risk assessment is not about health and safety. I know lots of professionals are here from this field, but this planning and risk is about business and the processes. So you identify that. And one of the crucial aspects of clause number 6 is you define your targets. What performance you are expected out of the process or the activity. Like you may have in sales and marketing, you have some target of sale. In production, you may have target of some production productivity or efficiency. So likewise, you have to define your targets. This is what clause 6 basically talks about. कि आपको क्या achieve करना है, वो भी यहाँ पे आपको define करना है. So this is, I'll just summarize clause 6. Basically, two requirements. One is you identify the risks. Of course, there are systems how you identify that risk, and also the opportunities. It's not only about the risk; it's also about the opportunities you have in the market, or in the business, or in the product, or in the service, wherever. And second crucial point is you have to have your objectives, targets well defined for all the processes. That is what is expected. Now let's me proceed with the clause number 7. Clause number 7 is about support. See, all things we have seen from 4, 5, 6 clause. If I just summarize quickly, 4 is about company क्या करना है, interested parties क्या है. Clause number 5 is about management, बता रहा है कि ये roles responsibilities है, ये हमारा direction है. 6 बता रहा है कि हमारे risk ये है, हमारा opportunities ये है. But now 7 is a crucial कि भाई कैसे करूँ? So basically you need 4 M's: man, machine, material, method. ये तो चाहिए ना, वरना काम कैसे होगा? तो support basically is on that. So you have to have a team, people, which is one of the crucial aspect in ISO 9001. You have to have an infrastructure, and you have to have some documentation system. This is what is expected in clause 7. More emphasis is given on people. I'll share quickly a small point on that. Here, people, when I use the word employees, it means that your team should be competent. Your team should be competent enough to deliver. So every organization has to identify the trainings for your people. इसीलिए आप देखेंगे हर एक कंपनी में ट्रेनिंग का अलग से एक मॉड्यूल बनाया जाता है, इंडक्शन ट्रेनिंग्स किए जाते हैं, और जॉब परफॉर्मेंस के लिए क्या चाहिए वो ट्रेनिंग आइडेंटिफाई किए जाते हैं थ्रू आउट द ईयर और उसको दिए जाते हैं. सो competency is the crucial aspect under the clause number 7, support. You have to have a better infra for your processes like machines, equipments. You have to have one of the crucial point, I will again say, is documentation. You have to define your documentation methodology here. It's not like the best part here is the ISO 9001 standard has not asked for any manual or procedure. It's up to the organization. उनको क्या बनाना है और उसके हिसाब से बना सकते हैं. I repeat, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि डॉक्यूमेंट नहीं बनाना है, but the choice is with the company. उसको कैसे बनाना है. So this is really good flexibility in terms of implementation. And clause number 7 also talk about one of the crucial point. I think all of you must be aware of the terminology calibration. All of you are aware of calibration? Please type in the chat box yes or no. So I'll provide some information on that. Yeah, please. Calibration. I'm using the word calibration. Yeah, let me see what people are saying about that. Okay, great. So all of you saying yes. Okay, so clause number 7 also talks about calibration of equipments which you have to carry out. Whatever equipment are there in your company or organization, or even if it is outsourced. देखिए इंफ्रा कंपनी में क्या होता है, कॉन्ट्रैक्टर होता है, उसको आउटसोर्स किया गया है, तो उसके इक्विपमेंट का भी कैलिब्रेशन चाहिए. लेट मी मेक दिस पॉइंट. आप ऐसा नहीं बता सकते हो मेरी कंपनी है, हम तो इक्विपमेंट नहीं मेरे कॉन्ट्रैक्टर के पास है, बट यू हैव टू एंश्योर कि आपके कॉन्ट्रैक्टर के इक्विपमेंट्स का भी कैलिब्रेशन हुआ है. So this is one of the point in clause number 7. Let's move on to the clause number 8, that is operations. Now this is the clause जहां पे कंपनी का एक्चुअल काम रिफ्लेक्ट होता है. आप वापस आई एम जस्ट समराइजिंग फॉर यू 4, 5, 6, 7 अगर आप देखेंगे तो यहाँ पे अभी तक आपको शायद क्लैरिटी नहीं है कि भाई हमारा कंपनी का प्रोडक्ट कहाँ पे है, कैसे बन रहा है, मेरा मार्केटिंग कहाँ पे हो रहा है, मेरा परचेस कहाँ पे हो रहा है, मेरा प्रोडक्शन या मेरा सर्विस कहाँ पे हो रहा है. ये सब एक्टिविटी क्लॉज नंबर 8 में रिफ्लेक्ट होती है. क्लॉज नंबर 8 इज योर एक्चुअल ऑपरेशंस, योर एक्चुअल एक्टिविटीज जो आप करते हो यहाँ पे. ऑपरेशंस में इट्स ऑफ कोर्स अ वेरी लेंथी क्लॉज. मैं आपको थोड़ा ब्रीफली बताऊंगा क्या एग्जैक्टली इसमें करना है. तो फर्स्ट इट स्टार्ट्स विद द ऑपरेशनल प्लानिंग, कि आपके ऑपरेशंस, आपके एक्टिविटीज के लिए आपने कैसे प्लान आउट किया हुआ है थ्रू आउट द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. देन इट टॉक्स अबाउट मार्केटिंग एस्पेक्ट्स, कि आपके यहाँ पे मार्केटिंग कैसे होता है, सेल्स कैसे होते हैं, आप कस्टमर को कैसे अप्रोच करते हैं, कस्टमर को कैसे आपकी इंफॉर्मेशन देते हैं. तो देयर आर मल्टीपल वेज. आइदर आप कस्टमर को इंक्वायरी करते हो, कस्टमर आपको परचेज ऑर्डर देता है, कस्टमर आपको ईमेल का इंफॉर्मेशन देता है, या इन योर केस में भी कस्टमर के साथ आपका एग्रीमेंट होता है, यू नो. सो एनीथिंग इज पॉसिबल. सो दिस क्लॉज नंबर 8, स्पेसिफिकली 8.2, टॉक्स अबाउट how you have communicated to the customer the requirements and whether your customer has understood those requirements. So that is the main focus here, what you are doing for this customer requirements. Once you are clear with the customer requirements, then there is a requirement of design. Some of you may be having your company is doing some type of designing, maybe building design, maybe machine design, maybe any type of design. So you have to incorporate all the requirements. हमारे यहाँ पे डिजाइन कैसे होता है, तो देयर आर मल्टीपल स्टेप्स. डिजाइन का प्लानिंग कैसे होता है, एक्चुअल डिजाइन कैसे किया जाता है, डिजाइन का आउटपुट क्या है, यानी मार्केट में हमें बेच देते हैं हम लोग या प्रोडक्ट हमारा आ जाता है तो फिर उसका क्या होता है. सो दैट्स वन ऑफ द क्रूशियल रिक्वायरमेंट अंडर द क्लॉज नंबर 8. देन कम्स 8.4 clause, that is about purchase. If you can recollect, there was a clause, there was a I will say not a clause, but there was a principle on supplier relationship management. If you can recollect, just now I talk about that. So supplier relationship management is revolved here as a clause number 8.4, where you have to define your suppliers. So every organization is expected to have their vendor registration process. I am sure आपकी हर एक कंपनी में vendor registration, supplier registration ऐसा कुछ process या system होगा. That is a must here. Then how you are communicating your requirement to your vendor? लाइक आप उनको परचेस ऑर्डर देते हैं, आप उनके साथ एग्रीमेंट करते हैं, आप क्या करते हैं वो यहाँ पे डिफाइन करना बहुत जरूरी है. इट्स नॉट ओनली अबाउट कि मैंने हम करते, कैसे करते आपको डिफाइन करना. एंड द मोस्ट एसेंशियल पार्ट, आपके सप्लायर ने आपको प्रोडक्ट दिया तो आपने उसको चेक किया, उसको इंस्पेक्ट किया. अगर वो सर्विस दे रहा है तो उसकी सर्विस को भी आपको चेक करना है कि आप कौन से ग्राउंड पे आप उसको सर्विस ले रहे हो और वेदर वो आपको करेक्ट सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा है. दैट यू हैव टू मॉनिटर हियर. दैट्स अ रिक्वायरमेंट. So that is about clause 8.4. Now let me come to the 8.5. That is your production and service provision. That means आपका जो actual delivery या actual product दे रहे हैं ये यहाँ पे आता है 8.5 clause में. 8.5 clause is basically about production. यानी आप मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में है तो प्रोडक्शन आपका जो एक्टिविटी है वो 8.5 में आएगा. आप कंस्ट्रक्शन में है तो कंस्ट्रक्शन जो साइट पे होता है वही 8.5 में आएगा. अगर आप ट्रेडिंग में है तो ट्रेडिंग जो आप करते हो, लेके बेचा माल, वो यहाँ पे आएगा. सो इट डिपेंड ऑन द इंडस्ट्रीज, इट इज डिफरेंट फॉर डिफरेंट इंडस्ट्रीज, बट यू हैव टू डिफाइन द स्टेप्स ऑफ इट. ये कैसे होगा, अगेन प्लीज गो बैक, जस्ट रिकलेक्ट द प्रोसेस का मैंने आपको एक दिखाया था स्लाइड, जहाँ पे इनपुट था, एक्टिविटी था, आउटपुट था. दैट व्हाट यू हैव टू डिफाइन फॉर योर प्रोडक्शन. कैसे अचीव होगा, उसके लिए क्या क्या लगेगा, कैसे प्रकार के आदमी लगेंगे, कैसे प्रकार का इक्विपमेंट लगेगा, कैसे प्रकार का आप इंस्पेक्शन करेंगे. आई रिपीट, इंस्पेक्शन इज आल्सो क्रूशियल हियर. आपको बिफोर यू रिलीज योर प्रोडक्ट उसका इंस्पेक्शन होना जरूरी है. ओके, बिफोर आई गो अहेड विद द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, आई जस्ट वांट टू नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर अवेयर ऑफ द टर्म नॉन कॉन्फॉर्मिटी या नॉन कॉन्फॉर्मेंस या एनसी जिसे शॉर्ट में बोलते हैं. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर अवेयर ऑफ दिस टर्मिनोलॉजी एनसी? प्लीज राइट इन द चैट बॉक्स. So I'm sure everyone is aware, that's what I'm saying, but I'll just tell you what is the definition of non-conformity. Non-conformity is something I'll simply define as non-fulfillment of requirement. जो रिक्वायरमेंट है वो फुलफिल नहीं किया, उसको एनसी बोल देंगे। क्लॉज 8 में स्पेसिफिकली ये बताया गया है कि अगर कोई भी एक्टिविटी इन टर्म्स ऑफ मार्केटिंग, इन टर्म्स ऑफ परचेज, इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, इन टर्म्स ऑफ डिजाइन, अगर आपने नहीं कर पाया या नहीं होती है तो उसको एनसी रेज कीजिए। अगेन देयर आर सेफ्टी प्रोफेशनल्स हियर या एनवायरमेंटल प्रोफेशनल्स, आप जो एनसीज लिखते हैं सेफ्टी या एनवायरमेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से वो अलग है, यहाँ पे अलग है, ये आपको समझना बहुत जरूरी है। यहाँ पे एक्टिविटी प्रोसेस की अगर फुलफिल नहीं हुए तो भी एनसी होती है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ कस्टमर प्रोडक्ट इज नॉट डिलीवर्ड ऑन टाइम, ये एनसी हो सकती है। आपका मशीन लंबे समय तक ब्रेकडाउन है तो ये एनसी हो सकती है। आपने इंस्पेक्शन प्रॉपरली नहीं किया और कस्टमर को मटेरियल डिलीवर कर दिया, ये भी एनसी हो सकती है। सो देयर आर डिफरेंट एनसीज कैटेगराइज्ड इन दिस, सो यू हैव टू राइट डाउन दोस एनसी, दैट्स अ फर्स्ट रिक्वायरमेंट है। जो भी एनसी हुआ उसको लिखिए। नाउ ओवर अ पीरियड, मैंने बहुत बार मैं ऑडिट में जाता हूं, मैं देखता हूं लोग एनसी लिखते नहीं है। क्यों? क्योंकि उनको डर, ये लिखा तो हमको फिर बॉस कुछ बोलेगा या हमारे सीनियर चिल्लाएंगे, समथिंग लाइक दैट, जो भी रहेगा। बट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, ISO 9001 स्टैंडर्ड स्पेसिफिकली टॉक्स अबाउट यू राइट डाउन। जब तक आप लिखेंगे नहीं, आप उस पर इंप्रूव कैसे करेंगे? एंड लेट मी क्लैरिफाई, नॉन कॉन्फॉर्मिटी इज अ लैप्स ऑफ अ सिस्टम। किसी बंदे का गलती नहीं होता है, आपके सिस्टम में कहीं पे इश्यू है, वो होता है। So my strong advice to all of you is please write down NCs if at all any occur in your process or in your operations. वो NC लिखने के बाद आप पे उसको actions लेने होते हैं, and that is what is about clause number 9, which is performance evaluation. परफॉर्मेंस आप कैसे देंगे, परफॉर्मेंस कैसे होता है, ये यहाँ पे आपको दिखाना है। देखिए, लेट मी गो बैक टू क्लॉज 6, 7, 8 नाउ। प्लानिंग किया, सपोर्ट में सब रिसोर्सेज प्रोवाइड किए, 8 में आपने एक्टिविटी किया। नाउ ये सब एक्टिविटी मेरा कैसे परफॉर्म कर रहा है, ये आपको दिखाना है। क्लॉज नंबर 9 में आता है परफॉर्मेंस इवैल्यूएशन, यानी मेरा कस्टमर के साथ सेटिस्फेक्शन लेवल कैसा है, विच इज वन ऑफ द क्रूशियल एस्पेक्ट इन ISO 9001 स्टैंडर्ड। देन मेरा सप्लायर कैसे परफॉर्म कर रहा है, हमने जो टारगेट सेट किए थे, जो हमने प्लानिंग में मैंने बताया था, वो मैंने अचीव कर रहे हैं या नहीं कर रहे। So this all analysis is required in clause number 9. Apart from that, there are two major aspects in clause number 9 which please you have to fulfill in order to get the certification. First is internal audit. आपकी कंपनी में आपको इंटरनल ऑडिट करना है एट प्रिस्क्राइब फ्रीक्वेंसी, और इंटरनल ऑडिट करने के बाद मैनेजमेंट रिव्यू करना है। MRMI ऑलवेज से मैनेजमेंट रिव्यू, जहां पे मैनेजमेंट टीम के साथ बैठेगा और रिव्यू करेगा the performance of entire system. So these two are crucial aspects under clause number 9. Without that, you cannot go for the certification. Let me tell you that. And the last point is clause number 10 is about improvement. ये सब एक्टिविटी हमने कर लिए, परफॉर्मेंस कर लिया, एनालिसिस हमारा हो गया, अभी इंप्रूवमेंट क्या? सी, अगर इंप्रूवमेंट आप नहीं कर रहे कंपनी में, तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ आप ISO 9000 लेने की जरूरत नहीं है आपको, बिकॉज अल्टीमेट एम ऑफ ISO 9000 स्टैंडर्ड इज द इंप्रूवमेंट। आप क्या कर रहे हो, आप दूसरों से क्या बेहतर बना रहे हो, आप कैसे कंपटीशन में आगे रह सकते हो, आपकी कंपनी कैसे परफॉर्मेंस दिखा रही है ईयर ऑन ईयर। सो इंप्रूवमेंट इज अ मस्ट, एंड दैट्स व्हाई दे हैव यूज्ड definition here is for corrective action. I'm sure everyone is aware of corrective action terminology and word. Please type in the chat box yes or no, or I'll explain you that. Because whenever there are non-conformities, there has to have a corrective actions on it. So yes, and everyone is aware of corrective actions, or I'll explain you. Okay, most of you are aware, but let me just brief you on that. There are two types of action. One is correction, one is corrective action. Whenever there are any NCs, अगर कुछ non-conformity होती है, तो उस पे जो आप एक्शन लेते हो ना, वो करेक्शन होता है। बट मेजोरिटी ऑफ लोगों को लगता है ये मैंने करेक्टिव एक्शन ले लिया। नहीं, करेक्टिव एक्शन वो नहीं होता है, वो करेक्शन होता है। प्रॉब्लम हुआ, उसको सॉल्व किया, इट इज ऑलवेज करेक्शन। बट क्लॉज नंबर 10 इंप्रूवमेंट स्पेसिफिकली क्रिटिकली भी बोलता है आपको करेक्टिव एक्शन लेना है। नाउ व्हाट इज दिस करेक्टिव एक्शन? करेक्टिव एक्शन इज, अगर कुछ नॉन कन्फर्मिटी हुआ, वो दोबारा ना हो, दोबारा सेकंड टाइम रिपीट ना हो, रिकरेंस ना हो, उसको करेक्टिव एक्शन बोलते हैं। सो प्लीज कीप दिस थिंग्स इन माइंड। करेक्टिव एक्शन, करेक्शन आर टू डिफरेंट थिंग्स। करेक्शन इज हो गया, उस पे आप जो भी एक्शन ले रहे हो टू रेक्टिफाई दैट, दैट्स अ रेक्टिफिकेशन। बट करेक्टिव एक्शन इज समथिंग यू टेक अ प्रॉपर एक्शन ऑन अ सिस्टम, on a process, on a people, so that it is not repeated in the organization. That really brings improvement. Right? So these are the 10 main clauses of the ISO 9000 requirements. And if you really want to implement the system, these 10 clauses you have to implement in the right spirit with the right documentation. Now, let me again show you structure of ISO 9000 2015 with the clauses. So it will give you more clarity about the clauses. As we talk about clause number 4, it talks about interested parties, stakeholders, which are always interested in the company. There are customer requirements, which customer keep on changing sometimes. Sometimes they throw something to you and you have to provide with them. There are needs and expectation of your interested parties again, जो आपको fulfill करना है. So the basic responsibility lies with the leadership. जो आपका leader है वो center में रहेगा, क्योंकि ये सब चीजें provide कौन करेगा? Final leader. तो डायरेक्शन देना है उसको आपको बताना है क्या करना है, उसको रिसोर्सेज प्रोवाइड करने हैं. वंस लीडर इज डूइंग प्लानिंग मैंने आपको बताया था, प्लानिंग करना जरूरी है. जब तक प्लान नहीं करेंगे एक्टिविटी होती नहीं है इन द राइट वे. सपोर्ट एंड ऑपरेशंस आर द टू एस्पेक्ट्स जहां पे आपकी एक्चुअली हो रही है. सपोर्ट इज योर पीपल, मैन, मशीन, मटेरियल, जो मैंने 4 M's बताए. और ऑपरेशन इज योर एक्चुअल एक्टिविटी जो आप करते हो टू डिलीवर योर प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस. एंड परफॉर्मेंस इवैल्यूएशन होता है जहां पे आप एक्चुअल में एनालिसिस करते हो डेटा आपका, क्या आपका परफॉर्मेंस कैसा है और आप कैसे आगे लेके जा सकते हो विद द इम्प्रूवमेंट्स. सो इफ यू कैन रिकलेक्ट, मैंने पीडीसीए बताया था और मैंने बताया था हर एक ISO 9001 या ISO स्टैंडर्ड पीडीसीए के बारे में बोलता है. सो इफ यू कैन सी हियर, यहाँ पे भी पीडीसीए है. ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज अ आउटपुट, ऑल दिस आर इनपुट एंड अदर साइड यू कैन सी इट्स आउटपुट. आपके रिजल्ट्स क्या आते हैं वो देखना है. Now let me show you this PDCA. Management has to plan for all the resources. तो ये P हो गया आपका. जो do activity है वो support operation के साथ होती है, जहाँ पे आप analysis, आपके data आपके पास आता है. Analysis करने के बाद आप check कर रहे हैं कि अभी improvement क्या करना है. And you have to always act on improvements. So this is the PDCA. And every ISO standard is based on this. 9000 का तो ये core है, तो I strongly recommend आप कुछ भी एक्टिविटी करो, खुद को एक सवाल पूछो, ये पीडीसीए है क्या, मैं इसमें पीडीसीए कर रहा हूँ क्या, एंड ट्रस्ट मी यू विल गेट अमेजिंग रिजल्ट्स. सो विद दिस लेट मी शो यू क्विकली कि आपको अगर सर्टिफिकेशन करना है, आप सर्टिफिकेशन कैसे करोगे. सो देयर आर वेरी सिंपल थिंग्स. ये कौन है येलो हाईलाइट मार रहा है अभी, प्लीज डोंट डू दैट. मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम सर्टिफिकेशंस के लिए आपको सबसे पहले आपकी सिस्टम इंप्लीमेंट करनी है. इंटरनल ऑडिट एंड टॉप मैनेजमेंट रिव्यू मीटिंग करनी है. इंप्लीमेंटेशन यहाँ पे जो मैंने लिखा है फर्स्ट आपने देखा, इट्स अबाउट डॉक्यूमेंटेशन जो आपको बनाने हैं सिस्टम के लिए, वो तैयार करना है फ्रॉम क्लॉज नंबर 4 टू क्लॉज नंबर 10. फिर वो सिस्टम के हिसाब से आप इंटरनल ऑडिट करेंगे, आप मैनेजमेंट रिव्यू करेंगे, सर्टिफिकेशन बॉडी का सिलेक्शन करेंगे बेसिकली आप, जिसके साथ आपको सर्टिफिकेशन के लिए जाना है. एक यहाँ पे एक ऑप्शनल एक्टिविटी है प्री असेसमेंट, जहाँ पे आप चाहते हो कि मैं आई एम नॉट कॉन्फिडेंट कि मेरा सिस्टम सही है या नहीं है, तो यू कैन कॉल सर्टिफिकेशन बॉडी एंड इट्स लाइक अ फ्रेंडली ऑडिट, जहाँ पे आपको बता देंगे आप सही कर रहे हो नहीं कर रहे हो. बट ये ऑप्शनल है, जरूरी नहीं आपको करना जरूरी है. बट देयर इज अ रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ स्टेज 1 ऑडिट. दिस इज अ कंपल्सरी आपको करना है जब अगर आपको ISO सर्टिफिकेशन के लिए जाना है आपकी कंपनी को. स्टेज 1 ऑडिट इज द डॉक्यूमेंटेशन ऑडिट, कि आपकी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन रिक्वायरमेंट सब फुलफिल हुए हैं कि नहीं हुए. अगर हुए हैं देन यू कैन प्रोसीड विद द स्टेज 2 ऑडिट, जहाँ पे एक्चुअल इंप्लीमेंटेशन देखा जाएगा कि आपने सिस्टम को कैसे इंप्लीमेंट किया है, आप कैसे उस पर वर्कआउट कर रहे हैं. एंड वंस यू क्लियर द स्टेज 2 ऑडिट और उसमें कुछ एनसीज आती है तो और एक फॉलोअप ऑडिट होता है अगर मेजर एनसीज है तो. वंस यू क्लियर ऑल द एनसीज यू विल बी ग्रांटेड द सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ ISO. बट कैच यहाँ पे ये है कि आपको ISO सर्टिफिकेट मिला वो लाइफ टाइम के लिए नहीं होता है. ISO सर्टिफिकेट का वैलिडिटी 3 साल के लिए होता है, इट्स फॉर 3 years एंड एवरी ईयर ऑडिट होता है जिसे सर्वेलेंस बोलते हैं. सो दिस इज द साइकिल व्हिच यू हैव टू अंडरगो in order to obtain the certificate of ISO. So with this I would like to just share about ourselves, like we are into this certifications. हम हर एक प्रकार के ISO certifications करते हैं, you name it, like 9000, 14000, 45000, do all certifications for the companies. And our main core domain is into trainings. We do lots of lead auditor trainings, implementer training, internal auditor courses, and now we are doing virtual courses also, online courses also. So if anyone interested, please let us know. We'll definitely support you with that. We'll help you with that. अगर आपको आपका करियर बनाना है ऑडिटिंग में या अपनी कंपनी में और अच्छा करना है, you can go for this types of courses which gives, you know, professional weightage to you. And for more details, you can visit our website, pyramidcertifications.com. And now with this, I end this session. Thank you very much, all of you, for this session. I really appreciate all your contribution.